Check, dinosaur. Cool. We are good skis. A little bit of a later start today. Also streaming on a Friday. I don't normally stream on today. I normally stream on Tuesdays or Thursdays. So yeah, but welcome on everybody. If you are on TikTok or Instagram, I'm live streaming on youtube.com/Tiffany Gordon Cosplay, and that is where I'm going to be reading chat and answering questions. So if you want to say something, go over to YouTube. It is free. Otherwise, you can watch on here too. That's totally fine. Follow me on these platforms as well. Yeah. If you're here on YouTube, welcome. Yeah, not too many updates since our last stream. I did get a box that I still need to open, a new box. This one's a much bigger box that I cannot lift, so I have to wait till my partner comes home from Air Force stuff later next week or two. Yeah, because I cannot lift it and I can't bring it downstairs to the printer room to give you an idea. So yeah, but that'll be coming. I'll do an unboxing video and stuff on that in the next 2-3 weeks, depending on when I open it and edit the video. So that's a new thing. I've also been still catching up on tutorials since being sick for like a month. I'm feeling so much better now. Oh, I think it's finally, the cold is finally gone from the 2 conventions I did. So yeah, I still need to edit that vlog from Alaska though. We're hoping I can do it today. We'll see. I'm a bit behind as always. But yeah, other updates. Nami just turned 1 year old yesterday, so yes, she's in a different room. Also, she got fixed last week, so her birthday present was being let out of the bedroom because she was stuck in there for a week after having surgery. But she's doing a lot better. She's very, very happy. So yeah. And I've been a bum and haven't really worked on much cosplay besides editing videos. So I have not done anything else on our Mercy Wings besides printing the harness, not the wing attachments for it though, because my printer got a really bad jam that I have to fully take apart, and I'm not looking forward to that. I've been trying the last day. It's like a full-on like take apart kind of thing. Not fun. Not fun. But we're still at the same spot where we were last stream. Have not touched any of those patterns we made, so we're gonna actually be cutting out foam today. But welcome on everybody. Hi Henny Fro, welcome on, hope you're doing well. So let me get that and then we can start, and we'll see how long I go today, just because I want to play games. I haven't played games. Okay. So here's all of our stuff that we left off last week. And if you don't know, we're doing the Overwatch 2 basic Mercy Wings. Just the wings, not a full cosplay. This is going to be going along with my wing harness. I'm going to be working, or I am working on 2 different types of wing harnesses that'll be available to the public to help y'all with wings. So one will be for a more heavy-duty, large wings, and the other one's going to be more of a lightweight, smaller wing harness with the capability of detaching the wings from the harness, so you do not have to take the whole thing off, and each wing can come off individually. So yeah, these are just examples. Okay, let me remember what I was doing with these. We had my blueprint, and I traced out each of the wing blades last time, and I wrote on all my little instructions. So now we are going to cut out the shape, which is this. Let me think. We were doing the full blade, which Boop, 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 boop. 2 at 4 mil. So that's 1 for each blade. Yeah, okay, so we're doing 1 4 mil, and then 2 of the 2 mil, and then that one. Okay, I've got it in my head what we're doing. I just had to remember. So let me get this. Excuse me, Yuki. Yuki is asleep on the ground. And then I'm gonna trim these, and then we will trace them onto our foam next. But how's everybody doing? Hope everyone is doing okay. Hi, Hispanic Furry, welcome on. Yeah, I'm doing great, thanks. I'm finally feeling better after being sick for like 3 weeks, having a cold and having to do conventions and stuff. It was not fun. I had a really nasty cough. But I've mostly, it's kind of a bum, and in between editing videos, which I didn't edit, like I did a little bit, I didn't edit too much. But one of my games came out with 2 new world maps, and that's the Planet Crafter. So I've been kind of stuck in my own little world doing that again. And I've almost got one planet, I forget what it's called. It's the water planet out of the 2. I've almost got that one terraformed. But it is difficult because a lot of the materials are not in the main part, and I had to go back to my other world, the main base, to get a few more stuff just because things weren't spawning. So yeah, that was great. Ah, Crimson, welcome on. Hope your trip is going well. Yee. Doing okay, just got off of work and grabbing some food. Ooh, what are you going to eat? I had chicken nuggets for lunch, my good old chicken nuggets. And then I'll probably have leftovers again for dinner. So we have is it Hello Fresh or something? We have a food prep box thing that you make, like they give you the ingredients and then you follow the recipe and make everything from scratch. And it's just me, so I've had to cook it for myself. And it was like a chicken, like you pan fry the chicken and put some seasoning on it, and then you cut it up. And I'm not good at making chicken whatsoever. I've had many fails. I can cook food. I can cook good steak and a lot of other things. Chicken, for some reason, I have problems with. It's not. I have problems cooking it. But yeah, and it had, I guess you would consider it a salad, but it didn't seem like a salad. But it had oregano, it had umami, are they radishes, the red things? And then cucumber, and then there was like, I had to make like a sauce. So yeah, but it was all together, really good, and it made like, it was supposed to be like portioned for 2, and I think it's like portioned for 6. I don't know, it seems like there's so much left, so, but this is probably the last time I eat it, because I don't want to keep eating it. Ugh. But it's really good, and I would make it again, so yeah. Glad you're feeling better. I'm doing okay. Glad for the long weekend. Oh, right. I forgot. It's, is it Memorial Day weekend? I know the schools... Well, I think the schools are closed now. I think that's what happened. I know they were doing, I've been seeing tons of people around town doing graduation photo shoots. And then the little kids driving past the schools have been doing their track and fields, but they either have today off or yesterday was like their last day. I'm not sure. I don't know. Somebody with kids tell me. Chinese food, sesame chicken with pork fried rice. Ooh. Ooh. That's yummy. I'm actually in the mood for, which I'll probably order food tomorrow. I always mispronounce it, but it's Mongolian meatball or something. Yeah. And that's been my favorite. And it's just like the meat, the rice, they do onions, or not onions, I'm sorry, they do mushrooms, which I don't really eat. I kind of put them to the side. And then there's an egg that, like an uncooked egg that cooks on top of it kind of thing. And their sauce they do with it is just good. It's so good. It's like my favorite meal, but a lot of times they have problems with not having enough meat. Or just ordering, like, the restaurant is kind of a shit show of cluster and it's terrible ordering online. So, yeah. Yeah, Memorial Day and most schools are out for summer. Oh, okay. Well, that's great because I was supposed to do a photo shoot with Aqua this last week, but I got really sunburned from going to the Renaissance Fair, and I was like, I'll just push it back another week. So now there's going to be a lot of kids everywhere. Fun. Sorry I just joined. Are these the first pair of Mercy Wings or second you said you were making? Well, this will technically be my 5th pair of Mercy Wings that I have made. But this one is going to be an example for the wing harnesses that I'm making. And these are specifically the Overwatch 2 original Mercy skin. So yeah. But if you're interested in some of my other ones, I do have tutorials on, I believe, 2 of the other Mercy wings that I've made. I think I have one for Atlantic Mercy and Pink Mercy. So just look around under the playlist section and you'll find them for that specific character. But yeah, Renaissance Fair was a ton of fun. I went a few years ago, or like last year or the year before, I don't remember. And the local one here in Nebraska's, it's very small compared to what I've made or like what I've been to in the past in Texas, because the Texas Renaissance Fair is one of the biggest ones in the U.S. So coming from growing up with that and going every year to a teeny tiny one, but this year I went with a lot of other friends and we just got drunk and just had a lot of fun going around. And I brought my umbrella, my little fabric paper one, and I'm so sunburned here and on my back, and I just look like Elmo, and I tried staying in the shade the whole time in sunscreen, but no, I'm too fair-skinned, and I always blame my dad since he's a ginger. But it was good fun, and I got most people except for one person to dress up, and surprisingly, everybody there except for me had never been to a Renaissance festival, and I was just like, what do you mean? So it was fun to kind of introduce them to that, and they really loved it. So it was cool because that being like a really small one, they still had tons of fun. And then we got sushi after. this time we're just working on some wings. Seems like I've been making a lot of dresses lately though. But that's just in between projects. I am happy to be doing some foam work though, because I've been doing so much sewing lately. Oh, I don't need that part. But yeah, besides that, I've been working on my storage room, and I've had about 6 large plastic storage bins full of fabric, and I use them, but the problem is I forget a lot of times what fabric is in them, because it's like, here's a blue box, here's a black box, here's a white box of like each fabric. And I kind of have been rebuying a lot of the same fabric that I've been using, and so I finally ended up buying on Amazon like a 3 storage shelf thing, and displaying all my fabrics. And I saw this on Instagram, but I don't remember who did it. And basically they had said like, get the comic book inserts, like the cardboard inserts, and they're about like that tall, perfect height for my shelves, and basically fold your fabric and fold it around, and you can label it if you want. And oh my gosh, it has helped so much. But I still have like 2.5 more trunks full of fabric, and I've filled up quite a bit of it already. So yeah. Okay, so we've got each of these now done. So I'm gonna get our foam out. So let me put this to the side. Also gonna grab a Dr. Pepper. Cheers. You give it. Me opening the door. I'm gonna disturb you. Come here. Come here, pretty girl. Oh, yeah. There's me, pretty girl. You gonna say hi to people? You wanna say hi? You're so hairy. You pretty girl, Yuki. He's so sweet now. Here, Ginge. Welcome on. Good girl, Yuki. There you go. Okay. Let's see. Got this one. Just like the closet's open. I want in. You want in. You have a whole bunch of fur. I can brush you. You want to be brushed real quick? She loves my wig brushes. They're her favorite. Yeah. Distraction. Oh yeah. You see all that hair flying around. I just brushed you yesterday too. Yeah, you want more? You want more? Good girl. Good girl. You just grab a whole thing of hair in your mouth. Okay, good girl. That's it. That's it for now. That's it for now. Big girl. Yeah, the pretty girl Yuki. She's so good. So good. Here. You want the window? Oh, there's Nami. Come here. I know. Let's go over here. I'm gonna put you in the window. Hey, Num Nums. Can you see you? Oh, yeah, there we go. Here's the other one. This one's Nami, and she just turned 1 yesterday. Yeah. She's a good girl. Okay. There you go. Alright. Alrighty. Let us start tracing our pieces. I'm going to trace them first, and then we will heat treat the foam after. Good girl, Yuki. How's the weather in France right now for you? We need 2 of this one. So we're gonna use, nope, we're not gonna use that edge. Didn't follow the whole progression of the new Mercy, or wait, your new Mercy wings? The last Mercy I made was in 2019. So it's been a few years since I've made something for Mercy. So I know a lot of people are happy, so. Oh, okay. I understand now. Yeah, these will just be the wings that we're making for this. Alright, and I'll trace it. Sorry. Be a little harder to see just because wings are always larger. It's supposed to have terrible weather this weekend though. It's getting colder and rainy, so. Anyone else working on any projects? I've just been ordering stuff for my next one, which will be Magic from Marvel's Rivals. So the last part is coming in today. So I've got a base wig that I'll need to style. And then I have some shoes coming in today, and then I thought there was one other thing I ordered. No, it was just those 2 things that I ordered, and I'm making everything else. Okay, here's the first one. Waiting on starting either Katara from Katara or ooh. Okay. I'm gonna say Sailor Saturn. I have such a love for all of the Sailor cosplays. The only Sailor Moon cosplay I have done was Wicked Lady, but I will not go near any of their traditional outfits. They're so gorgeous, but it's like such a technique of doing all of the little white ruffle things there, and I just I love the costume or all the cosplays of them. Just too much work for me, which is weird because I do so much on other stuff now. Okay, this one is E3. Did I write that the correct way? Nope, I wrote it backwards. Oh well. A Helldiver cosplay? That'd be cool. I'm surprised you're not wanting to do another Mercy. I know you're a huge fan. Overwatch has actually been like killing it with all their new collabs though. I saw they were doing was it Street Fighter was their most recent one? And like 2 weeks ago was Gundam, and then I think like a week before that was Magic Girls. It's like, oh, y'all have a lot now. I thought it would be spaced out a little bit. Either that or I just haven't seen them. So. Okay, that one. That one is E3. Okay, we will put it to the side right now. And then our next one. There's 2 collabs in the same season? Okay. Yeah, I didn't know how they were doing stuff with this. I think this should be fine. I'm gonna do it on this edge though. Oh, well, maybe? Maybe? Yeah, that'll work great. I've only been doing my Planet Crafter right now, and then my is it House Flipper 2 got an update. I've been wanting more cozy and crafty kind of things. And then I finished all of that update, but then I did not realize that their community stuff was free. And I went down that rabbit hole of trying out everybody's stuff that they've made, so I've been hardcore into that now. Yeah. So you said Seth was a dream cosplay of yours to do. Is there another dream cosplay you plan to do? Yes. Yeah, Seth though. So my first cosplays that I made, first one was Death Note, but I don't really count that one as like a fully made one. My first actual made cosplay was Sister Kate from Trinity Blood, and then I did Esther, and then I did Abel Narrowed, and then that was all during the same time of me wanting to do Seth, but not knowing how to do that back in the 2010s, early 2000s. Yeah. So I was happy to do that again. But the next cosplay I would like to make as a build just for me, because I really, since this is my business of making costumes and patterns and tutorials, I kind of classify my cosplays in two different categories where my smaller builds that are more focused on tutorials, so like I still love the characters that I make. I make everything, like every costume that I make, I like the characters, I watch the show, interested in it. But I categorize them as cosplays for the community, meaning they're fun, quick little builds for me to make that I'm more making for the community to help them make it themselves. So like Aqua, that you can see in the background, that one I made in like less than 10 days, and that one I've already done 2 tutorials. I've got 1 more left coming on YouTube, and then I did a bunch of mini tutorials, and I have patterns for the whole costume, and it's more to focus on like here's how you can make it yourself, and things like that. Where Seth, I might have done a few short videos of I was making this during the process, but not actual tutorials, and there will not be tutorials at all for any of the costume. That one was just a focus for me of I wanted to make it. It was a dream cosplay, which was a lot for me to take 5 months to build, and take away from me making other stuff that was like my bread and butter of making money from. Even though it got tons of great interest on social media and stuff, that costume was not about that. It was strictly like for me, and I went on a rabbit hole or a tangent or whatever. Sorry. But yeah, the next one that I would like to do for me would be, I'm gonna mispronounce the name, but is it Igrius from Solo Leveling? And I go back and forth if I want to make it out of foam, do full foam armor with lights, or if I want to do a full leather armor with lights. And I go back and forth, but it's like I'm not making it right now, so it's going in the back of my mind, and I love Solo Leveling. It's like one of my favorite animes. Up to date, love it. And actually I bought an artwork of it, which I still need to take a picture, but it's like an acrylic art piece that's like that big that I have in my gaming room. And I look at it every day and I'm just like, I'm gonna make it. So that's probably like my next dream one. And potentially not making it for me to wear, making my partner wear it. So it'd be like, those are the best costumes, like Nightmare 2. I didn't have to wear that cosplay. I could put somebody else in it, and then I could really have it, like, this is my dream of how I want it to look, instead of I'm derp in it, and yes. So, yeah. But hopefully sometime this year I'll get to it, or I'll get another Oh Shiny syndrome, and I'll do another cosplay of something else that catches my mind, because I'm really bad at, I have tons of things that I want to make, but I get distracted really easily, and then I make a bunch of different things in between. So yeah. Like Aqua was not planned at all. That was a overnight, hey, the voice actor is going to be at the Alaskan convention that I'm going to be guesting at. And wouldn't it be fun to just make it? Because then also there's going to be a fan base there because she's there, and that was cool. And yeah, so that was a, I need to make it in 10 days. We're going to make it in 10 days. Sorry. Yeah. Yep. So that one's one. There's like a few others that I want to make. Another dream one, which, like I think I'm pretty decent at sewing, but I'm 100% self-taught. Never took any classes. I have no idea, like, if my methods are correct or not. They work for me. And I know that they work a lot for other people because other people who have no, like, they look at certain things like traditional sewing patterns, and they just don't make sense. They don't make sense to me. That's why I make my own, just because that's how I think. And a lot of people like that because it's an easier way for them to get into it. Where was I going with this? Oh, sorry, lost train of thought. But yeah, the other one would be one day I'd like to make Violet Evergarden. She is that anime hits hard for me because I feel like growing up with the military life as well, it hit. And a lot of the same of trying to understand feelings and things. Like, it's taken me a very long time to, like, growing up, I like to say I was emotional, but I was not emotional. And I've learned a lot from doing it. Like, just 30 years of being alive and all. Almost 33. Ugh. But yeah. So that one hit really hard. And I'd love to make her outfit one day. But that's a intimidating cosplay for me. But I kind of just want to do armor and foam builds right now since I've been heavily doing sewing. I've only been doing, like, there's been a few 3D printing and a small foam pieces, but not foam. And I know me. So yeah. Haven't seen any Violet Evergarden cosplays recently. That would be, yeah. Well, I think she was very popular a few years ago because didn't they have a touring orchestra playing her soundtrack or something? Either that or there was like a new movie coming out for it. I'm not sure. I have only seen I think there's only one season. I've only seen that. I know there are movies, and I have purposely not watched them because whenever I decide to cosplay her, I want to watch it at the same time and have that same feeling of inspiration of wanting to make the build. So I've purposely, like, just not. And I don't know if it's like an actual movie or if it's just like a summary movie of the show. Because I know there's some animes that do that where it's like a really, really short hour and a half of here's the whole entire season. But yeah. Okay. This is D3. We're going to try to write these correctly this time. But it's funny because Aqua took the place of, I had already planned on, I really wanted to make Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf. I think that's the title, or whatever it is. It's a stupid long title. I wanted to make her outfit in her normal realm, the pink one. So I'd already planned on making that. Oh, Shiny Syndrome to Aqua. And then I also wanted to make, I don't remember her name, but the blonde-haired girl from Solo Leveling with her black, red, and white outfit. I don't know if I'll note those, probably still will, but yeah, those were the plan until I got distracted and didn't do them. But I still have all of the fabric. So, hey, hope you are having a great stream, just lurking today. Well, thank you for lurking, and hope you are having a great day as well. Yeah, today is a lot better for me. Yesterday, I planned on streaming yesterday, and shit hit the fan for me. It was not a good day whatsoever. I ended up, my printer broke, or got jammed really bad, and I cannot fix it, so I have to wait to get help on that technical support and whatnot, and I get so stressed having to do phone calls. I hate doing phone calls. I get so much anxiety, especially for like having to call, I had to call my credit card company, and it's a giant nightmare because my credit card, so on the website, they're a small Texas credit card company. I'm in Nebraska, and they're so bad, so many issues with them. It took me a month to get last time my credit card replaced, and at that time they were my only bank account, and they don't exist here, so I had no money, and I had to live off of cash of like what I had, and that was a very stressful time because it was just me by myself at that time, and yeah, that was not fun. So I was stressing on that. But my company, or like the card, said nothing was wrong. But I had an Amazon order get declined, and then I had a membership the automatic membership thingy that it pays on its own kind of thing. That got declined, and it's like, okay, had to call them, and the guy was really nice. They fixed their people. It's no longer like, normally you call and it's like somebody that doesn't speak English very well and you can't understand, and then you're just like, what I don't giant nightmare. But yeah, this guy was wonderful. He was great, and normally you have to wait online for like an hour or two. Don't know who you are, decline. Yeah, there. And I'm terrible at telling stories. Hope y'all know that. But they were good, and basically said, oh, yeah, they just randomly turned off your card. And he's like, I don't see why. And he had to call the I guess whoever else, and apparently they had detected a fraud alert, which I'm supposed to get updates, like notifications, if there's fraud on my account, or like, did you make this charge? Nothing happened. Nobody sent me anything. Typical. So yeah, apparently now I have to get a new card. So, but that stressed me out so much. I got so stressed yesterday. I planned on streaming, and I got so worked up in my head. I felt so sick. I felt like throwing up. Which is why I take anxiety and depression stuff to help, and it just didn't help. Yeah. So, that was my day. That fixing everything was not fun. Hi, Nami. I'm glad you're comfy back there. She's so happy to be out right now and not stuck in the bedroom. Other side note, I did find a good show on Netflix though. It just came out 2 days ago, and I binged all of it. It's called either Royals or The Royals, and it's about, I think they're Indian, but I'm terrible. It's like a Majad, I think is what they call the royal family or something. I'm not 100% sure. I watched it. It's kind of like the Bridgertons almost, but not, it's like nowadays kind of thing. It was really cool. I liked it a lot, and I know they're going to do a second season, but I recommend it. Very beautiful costumes and everything. So yeah, and beautiful architecture of their palace. Story is a little It's good, but it's a little, all the characters are very wide-eyed. Ha. And if you watch it, you'll see what I mean by that. But I don't know if that's just like a cultural thing of how love shows are. But yeah. And then they have a new show that just came out, like a mini series that I've started called The Sirens. Some of the live shows I'm doing. But in terms of anime, still watching Witch Watch or Watch Witch, whatever it's called, on Netflix. Ooh, Box is here. I gotta get that in just a second. But I've kind of put a pause on all of my other animes. I just haven't been in a mood to watch everything. Like, same with Apothecary Diaries Season 2. I'm only halfway through, and then I just stopped. I still want to watch it, I don't know, just not in the mood. Okay, that one, I'm gonna wait for him to leave, because I don't like going out when they're there. Don't like your spot. Yeah. This one is A3. Okay, can't fit that one in. He's gone. Let's go get the box. You don't like your spot, Nami. Make sure she doesn't like her surgery spot. I got 2 boxes, but I don't know what the other one is. So I'm only doing this one. These are shoes. And I love that all the shoes come in this now. These like white little baggies, because it makes great for putting them in a suitcase. Haha. Chunky. Turn them on real quick. I wanted for Magic some base shoes, and I'm gonna add foam to them and paint them and stuff, but also because I'm a short person and these don't have like, she doesn't have heels on, I wanted a kind of platform boot, and I did the same type of thing for when I cosplayed Jinx. They're not bad. I've kind of gotten to the point where I used to want to make covers for shoes so I didn't have to have tons of shoes. Oh, there's no insert in this one. That means it's been tried on. But I'm kind of to the point where it's just easier to buy a new shoe, because most of the armor, like most of the shoes you put armor on and they just fall apart more. So I find it easier for a lot of the cosplays to do this, so. They definitely need like, they hold on, but they have a weight to them, so, for people to see. I'm taller. Okay, but probably will need some thick socks with them, we'll see. Rilo, welcome on. Are you on your lunch break right now? We were trying on some shoes. No, we're working on Mercy Wings right now, but I got distracted because the FedEx truck showed up, so. But yeah, anywhere I travel with cosplay for shoes, each of my shoes stay in their little baggie individually, and it helps just make sure they don't dirty up anything. And also, because most of the time they are painted or have armor on it or things like that, it just helps keep everything from getting messed up. And for storing them. You're at DreamHack. Ooh! Fun! Are you in cosplay, or wait, this isn't the one you're guesting at, right? I don't think so. I think you said it was something else. I have not been to a DreamHacks before. Supposed to, but then COVID happened. I was supposed to guest that same year, but yeah, we know how that went. And then they never contacted back, which is fine. Ooh, okay. Cheers again. Alright, continuing. Are we gonna get some convention pictures in Discord today? Maybe? I always love seeing y'all post convention pictures. Okay, this one's gonna go here. I'm gonna be a little sidetracked. I'm gonna do 2 of these. Where's the cats now? What are you doing, Yuki? Yeah? Huh, pretty girl? She's like, I'm sniffing. Stay down. Post some when you get home today? Nice. Are you planning on doing their cosplay contest? Or just there for fun? Oh, well, hello to her too. She's a wonderful person. I got to meet her at, we were doing like a party when I was working with Ultimate Cosplay, and she showed up. That was at, Holiday Matsuri years ago. So yeah. Can't this time. The contest is tomorrow, but well, I hope you have fun. I know that they have a lot of people that do their contests though, so, but I've never entered any of them, so I don't know how they actually go. Okay. Trace it. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, right now, my next conventions are gonna be Anime ID, which is in Idaho at the end of next month. And that's what I'm hoping to finish Magic for, but we'll see. I've been very all over the place lately. And then, what else? I have, in Texas actually, in, I think it's Wichita Falls, maybe? Somewhere up north, is the Retro Expo, or the Retro Comic, something like that, at Retro Gaming Expo. That one is in September. So that will be the next time in Texas, which I'm happy to go back. I have not been back in Texas since last year when I did Tokyo X, I believe. But I think that was like February or something. I don't know. It's been over a year now. You might be able to go to that one. Do it! I want to see people and enter the contest. It's their first year for that one. And it's nice that they were very focused on getting a cosplay guest first. So I think I was their first one or something. They've been wonderful to talk with. And they're the last one that I'm talking to on my own without my management company. Because that one I had scheduled, like, they booked me like a year and a half in advance. They were like, we want you! And they've been very nice and wonderful. And I hope their convention will be a success as well. I always like it when conventions are very... It's not just like a business for them. Obviously they want to make money. All conventions want to make money. They can continue doing it. But they were very much wanted certain people to come, and they seem very focused on cosplay stuff, at least from what I have talked to them about. So, and I like it when conventions are about that and the craftsmanship of things. Okay, that. Mommy is watching the bunnies. We have so many little spring bunnies popping up. So far we have every night 5 on the side yard. And I haven't seen any baby bunnies yet. So expecting them to pop up. But we do have Mr. Orange Kitty, who, if y'all were in Discord, a long time ago, I got concerned because there was an orange kitty that was outside and loose, and I knew he lived on one of my neighbors, like, the second floor apartment. And I was so afraid he got out. No, he just lets the cat out every night now. And the cat has fun trying to chase the bunnies, but I'm afraid he's catching the little baby bunnies, which, you know, is sad, but also we have an infestation of bunnies every year of like 20, and then they normally have the animal people come and capture a bunch of them, so sad. But hopefully they're removing them somewhere else, but it's all, yeah, Yeah. Wait, this is C1. No, C3. Sorry. C3. We need a second one of this one. If it will fit. Yes. Maybe. Should I put it right there? Perfect. Yeah, if y'all have any questions or comments or anything on any cosplay stuff you want to know, feel free to ask as well. Otherwise, I just kind of randomly talk. Or if y'all want to share any good news or any other things that are going on, I'd love to hear it. And for those that are on TikTok or Instagram, I am live streaming on youtube.com/Tiffany Gordon Cosplay, so go over to YouTube. It is free, and that is where I'm reading chat and answering questions. It's just a lot easier to read on that end versus on my phone. This one's gonna be like, oh, so close, so close. Am I feeling better? Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better, thanks. Sorry, TikTok is making me do their little puzzle. Unable to verify. There we go. Yeah, it was like 3 weeks of being sick, and that cough and cold were terrible. I went through probably 6 boxes of tissues and had to keep getting tons of cold and flu medicine just to help with my throat, and I ended up getting the little, what are they, the cough lodging candy things or whatever to help. I've not been sick like that in years. And it sucked because I got it after C2. I got better before Alaska. Went to Alaska and I was fine, but then came home and I was completely sick again. And it's like, ugh. At least it wasn't while I was at the convention. But it was terrible. Like I've been sick a lot for other type of sickness and for the whole female with surgery on me and that stuff, but not like a cold. C3. Okay, that's the last one of this one. And 3 more to trace. And this is like the most longest process is tracing things. Sorry, drinking water. Okay, can we fit these in there? No. So we'll do our last one on this one, and then we'll have to get out another piece of foam. And I also do need to film this, because I'll be doing a tutorial on how I made these wings as well, besides making the harness. I went back and forth though when I saw the new Gundam wings for the Overwatch collab with Mercy, and I was like, oh, that'd be so cool to make. Write it down. Thank you, oh, Real, for the resub. I appreciate it. And I will write that down in just a second. Yes. But, I figured doing the generic Mercy Wing would be better for the community, because then it's more people are probably gonna cosplay her normal one, and this would be a better generic tutorial for wings versus making the Gundam Mercy Wings, which are like a specific of a specific. So yeah, I gotta get my little thing. Got it. Thank you. All right, trace this one. We're gonna boop. Make sure y'all can kind of see it. Filming the video, we're filming a video. Okay. And then it can go away. Ta-da! I'm gonna try for doing my next cosplay, like full cosplay builds, for my mini tutorials. I want to try doing something differently. And normally I film with my phone just tiny little like snippets of what I'm working on at that time. But I want to try this time, because I'm always, when I make things, I'm always watching a show. And it's, when I fast forward, like because I always times all of my videos by like 5 or 6, or like up to 10. Then it just sounds like a squeaky voice in the background, like, because of whatever TV show I'm watching. But I want to try to do it real time, so you can hear the like ASMR of drawing all the lines and cutting all the pieces and stuff, and I think that would be cool just to try. So we'll see. We'll see if I remember. Do you remember the first time you hosted a panel? I think my first one, this would have been in 2018, because that's when I did Ariel. And it was at it was a Comic-Con up North Texas, but I don't remember. It was a town I'd never heard of. It was a tiny little town. And it was a small convention. And they only did Q&As. It was like cosplayers tell all. And they had some hosts that just asked, like all 3 of us cosplay guests were there. And they just asked us questions. Like, when did you first start cosplaying? What is this? And it, like, very generic. I shouldn't have folded it, but that's okay. Very generic questions. I don't think I did any real panels for like a year later. And I think my first panels that I started doing when I first started guesting were Cosplay Materials 101, where I went over just generic, like, here's some generic stuff on EVA foam and the basic tools that you need. And it was like a short little 5-minute thing, and then I would go on to like, here's Warbler and the same thing, and like the safety issues, and then here's 3D printing, and here's leather and metalsmithing, and I did very short little, like, here's just like an introduction of some of the stuff that you can do with it. But yeah, that was kind of how I started. Now I'm more specific, but most conventions, I give them my list. I have like a list of over 20 panels and things, and most of them just want generic airbrush painting 101 or how to enter a cosplay contest, things like that. But I know a lot of other conventions, if you're not guesting, they're more like if you're submitting a panel. I have no idea what your question is anymore, sorry. But if you're submitting a panel, when they're looking for what to choose and you're not a guest, they're looking for more unique panel ideas. So they want more how to sew with electronics or how to master wig styling with wire and things. I don't know. More specific and less generic, like EVA Film 101. They want more, yeah. Did that answer? I don't know. This one is A3. And then we have one more to trace, but I need to get another piece of foam. So we will put this to the side. You applied to host a panel at Colossal Con this year. Is that the one you're guesting at, or is that the one that you're just going to? If you need advice, I can give advice. That was actually helpful, thank you. Okay, cool. Yeah, typically when you're guesting, they don't really care. They just want you to do a panel. They're just, if they are looking at your list, otherwise they'll just be like, tell me what your panel is and I'll put it in. So if that's the case, so a lot of times with conventions, if you see that there are 2 panels that are basically the same, like I've done it before where how to enter a cosplay contest as a panel, and then there's another panel, somebody else competing for the first time. And it seems silly because the convention did them like kind of on the same day, but normally when that's the case, it's because the convention, it's 2 different like people kind of thing. So one is with the guesting and one is with the panelists. This is a generic, by the way. Sometimes it's different, sometimes it's not. But a lot of the cases I've kind of figured out that they'll have, when they're asking for panelists submit panels, they'll choose from those lists, but they leave space in their programming for insert cosplay guest number 1 panel. So if there's 3 cosplay guests, then whatever they give you, so like let's say I submit, or yeah, I'm guesting, then they'll just be like, oh, what panel are you doing? And I'll be like, oh, cosplay guesting or cosplay whatever. They'll just put it in. There's no questions asked a lot of times. So that's why you'll see a lot of sometimes 2 panels of the same type if it's by somebody different. You have a table done? Oh, okay, cool. I remembered. I knew you were doing one. Hi, num nums. Little thing. You got stuck in your eye. Let me see. There you go. Now you're pretty. Good girl. That new phone smell. This way. We'll just do it this way. Easier. I got your eye gunk on my thing. Ugh. There we go. Hey, num nums. Chantel is in the way. Careful. She's like, this is my spot now. Don't eat the tape. Yuki hates masking tape. Nami loves masking tape. Because I used to put masking tape so the sticky side was outward to prevent her from, like, climbing on surfaces, because Yuki just didn't like it. But Nami broke that rule because she liked to try to eat all of it. And so I had to constantly get it from her, and now I don't have any of the masking tape on things. Which is good, but it's also bad because then Yuki tries to scratch things. Like my poor Monster Hunter prop, it's a scratching post at this point. I feel so bad. Oh. There's so many claw marks on it, and it's not something that's like an easy fix. So it's gonna just be a wear damage at this point. We're listening to the same channel on YouTube this time, but they have a different live piano version of all of their game music. So that's what we're doing today. I wanted to change it up a bit. It's really the only one I've paid attention to as well. The rest of them have just been kind of noise in the background. But this one's a hit hard because I got stuck with this song playing all the time in Nintendo 64's Mario 64. Sounds like a good way to add battle damage. I'll get it down. I have it taped right now though. Let's see. Yes. Battle damage. Battle damage. All of these parts of foam. So, not fun. For those that are here, y'all can see the kitty battle damage. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, one more trace. Nami. Hey. Hey. So one thing on Mercy Wings is you always have so many of the blades. But I guess it's better than cutting out foam feathers, though. Ooh, those are a nightmare to do. My little trick for foam feathers, though, is instead of cutting each one individually, you cut it where you only have the bottom of them. So if you, like, for your fingers, you cut off, like, that part, and they're all attached on the top, and you only do, like, a scallop edge kind of thing. And it's less weight, and it's all as one piece then, because you're going to hide it. So the only part that you have to do individual ones is in the top. Yay! Rio, thank you for the $5 donation. Gotta go, have a spectacular day. Thank you so much. And also have a great day at your convention. Don't spend too much money. Write it down. Got it. Thank you. Okay. How do you decide the order you make your cosplays, business and personal? So I typically only do one, like, personal project a year. That's for this last year and this year, because it went over Christmas, was Seth from Trinity Blood. But in general, most of the year it's what I consider to be community builds. So even though I love the costume or like the character, I play the game and stuff, they're more focused on the for the community, doing tutorials and things and patterns. Okay. But it's kind of like I can make what I want. I do make what I want. But I have to kind of focus on a lot of things being more what is going to potentially make more money and keep me afloat to pay my bills and be able to continue doing this. So I still make all the characters I like. I just kind of stick to, like, it's been kind of the theme this last year has been magic girls with staffs, because those have been easy for me to make and are kind of a good formula of shirt, skirt, or a dress, and then a staff. So it's kind of like two sewing, one like foam fabrication or 3D printed thing. And so it's kind of like a good mix in between, and good cosplays for like beginner cosplayers or any level to make. Yeah. So that's kind of how I see it, where Seth is, that was me. That was what I wanted to make, but it was really hard to dedicate 5 months to it, and I was going nuts, and I was still having to do some stuff on the side, so that way I could continue doing things. But that, Seth was, I had decided to do, well, technically Seth was supposed to be 2 years ago, because I was going to be doing, I got invited to do an international thing, which fell through, and I'd already planned on doing stuff, and I'd already bought all of the materials. But that fell through, so I put it back, and then last year I had surgery for I had ovarian cyst surgery. I had stage 4 endometriosis, still do. And after that I was kind of like, I needed to recover, and then I made one small cosplay to kind of get myself going, and then I needed a big build to kind of keep me motivated to do things and take my time, because I wasn't able to work at my proper speed. So Seth probably should have taken less time, but because I was still recovering from everything, that's why I ended up doing 5 months. And I learned a lot from that. Happy I made it. I don't know if I'll be able to dedicate 5 months to something, because I can barely dedicate a month to 2 months on something before I lose focus on crafting something. I get very impatient and I just want to move on to the next build. Okay, so next parts. So we need to trim these so we can go to our 2mm foam next. But yeah, good question. Feel free if anybody else has other questions, feel free to ask, or if y'all have questions on your own stuff. Yee. So we're trimming off this bottom part now. But yeah, it's the difference of if you're doing this as a hobby or if it's your full-time job. And for me, this is my full-time job. Okay. And then we can toss this one. Which contest has been your favorite to enter? To enter? That's a hard one. So, I don't like competing. It is very stressful to compete, and I've never liked the fact that I basically have to be behind doors all day, and the conventions, like, I'm not a fan of all of that. Like, C2 was fun, the staff was great. Competing wise, like, it'd be cool to compete again, but I don't think I think this was my last time competing. I don't think I'm gonna compete again. Not the fact that, like, it's more of, if I was to compete at C2 again, the skill level is so insane there, and it is amazing to see all the talent and the creativity that people put into their builds. And these are stuff that people work on for years, and they are doing all of these really intricate techniques. And at this point in my life, because it is my full-time job, it's hard to dedicate the time to do something like that, to do something traditional. I have the skills to do a lot of it, but I don't want to do that. And that's hard to describe. Like, I have a degree in studio art degree, and I've done metalsmithing. I've undeclared metalsmithing degree, got into London for the Royal College of Art goldsmithing program that I declined, and I was a professional metalsmither for James Avery in Texas. And, like, I could make things. I've made metal corsets. I could do that, but I don't want to. I don't want to focus my attention on doing stuff like that. I like being able to make my more smaller builds and have the freedom to do that and not stress. And making a competitive worthy thing, like even Seth, I know it wasn't perfect. There are things on it that I don't like, that I could have redone, I could have made better. But I didn't want to. I didn't want to do more. And I would have loved to, like, I see all these people hand embroidering all of their pieces, and they're so gorgeous. I just don't want to sit there and do that myself. And I've done it. I had to do it in school, in an undergrad. I don't want to do that again. So I'm kind of at the point where it's like the skill level for C2 is, I see it as a thesis project for me. That's what I did for my thesis my senior year in my undergrad, and for my portfolio for my graduate. I don't want to do that again. So I'm kind of at the point where I've accepted, like, I don't want to. I don't need to. So yeah, I didn't think about that at all. Yeah. But in terms of competing, well, my favorite memory from competing would be, my favorite and my least favorite is BlizzCon. We'll say that. And that was with, I'm going to continue cutting, sorry. You got me thinking. Ooh. I will say I would love to go to C2 again. I had so much fun, but I had more fun meeting you, Honeyfro, meeting all the other cosplayers. Like, the after scene at C2 was amazing, and I had so much fun with everybody there. So yeah, it was just a giant hangout fest, which I really enjoyed. So I would totally go back to C2 again, just for that reason. But in terms of with BlizzCon, so if you don't know, I won the BlizzCon cosplay contest, Best in Show with my Lilith cosplay, the 2023 last year? No, are we in 25 or 24? What year is it? I don't remember. Oh my gosh. I'm the reigning champ still. So yeah, cause they didn't come back this year. But with BlizzCon, so making Lilith at the time, I had a lot of people that were interested in my cosplay of Lilith. A lot of companies that were interested with Lilith, for a bunch of different things. And I didn't want to show it until it was fully complete. And that meant having the wings. And at that time, I did not have a manager. It would have been a lot more helpful with a manager, which is why I have a manager now. And talking with all of these companies and doing communication with them, having some ghost you, having some promise, oh, we're doing this, and after talking for 6 months. Six freaking months. And then it was a giant nightmare. At the same time, I also was going through I lost 2 pets that year, within a month apart. I lost my rabbit Chez, and I lost my cat Fluff. And that hit hard, so I had to take a break from that. So that cosplay was like over a long period of time, because I took like 3 months of not working on it anymore. But yeah, so that was a nightmare. And then I like, for me, classifying if I like my cosplays or not is a whole, the process, the making process. It's not necessarily how it looks when it's finished. And for that one, I have a lot of bad memories with it. Even though I love the cosplay, I had a lot of, like, bad stuff that happened. And at that point, it was 25, you won for, okay, thank you. I'm glad somebody remembers. But at that point, I had decided to enter the contest, just kind of out of spite because of everything that was happening for me in my life, and the companies and shit. And so that was a bad experience for me with that. But the good experience, best experience I've ever had for competing, was the judging. So contest was ran right like shit. They know that. It was poorly ran. And the judging process was a giant room. Let's say a giant cafeteria. All of the contestants are standing in a row waiting for the judges to judge you. In the same room. All 14 of those judges sitting in one row with the tables. And everybody's talking, because we're waiting there, nobody knows what's going on. So each person goes, they talk to the judges for like 3 or 5 minutes in front of them, and everybody's still talking. And I take my picture because they have like a picture thing right next to it too, which is kind of silly because then it distracts the judges. And then I walk forward and you could hear a pin drop on the ground. Everybody went quiet. And it was such an empowering moment for me of, like, I just felt like I had captivated everybody with my presence, with how I was talking. It was such a big moment. Like, I've never felt that before. And that was the best experience. Now, this was not competing on stage, but this was behind it. So yeah, that was good. But then I also had negative experiences afterwards with, like, obviously, every competition, every big competition, there's always people like, oh, this person should have won, this one looks better. And I didn't like that my cosplay was being confused with Cinder's at the time. Her cosplay was great. We both did a different version of Lilith, which people didn't quite understand because everybody thought I was supposed to be blue, which she's not blue. All of the blue images of her are in shadows, which didn't make sense. But I went off of the white Lilith version, not the blue Lilith, like the statues. And so got hit with that with social media. Then also got hit with some of the companies I was talked to afterwards found me at the convention and were like, we're happy we didn't work with you, so you had this opportunity to win instead. And like things like that, like you already, like, this is already a shit situation that you put me in kind of thing. And then you're just gonna go and like, no, this was bad. Like they're trying to make good, but no, you made it worse kind of thing. So there is pluses and cons with that. So that was kind of that. So yeah, I don't really remember my other competitions. I don't compete very much. I only competed like once a year maybe. I've told this story a lot, but one of the, let me get out my phone first. We need 2mm for this one. But yeah, another experience that I had that was a bad but a good one, and I tell this a lot at conventions because people always want like a story. And for me, it was one of the first time, or like, when was this? It was probably like 2017? Maybe, years ago. And we need 4 of each of these. Remember that, chat. Remember 4. But it was Combat Medic Ziegler from Overwatch. And at that point, I had made the wings. I had 3D modeled and 3D printed them. They were electronic, they opened and closed, they had lights, and there was like, on each wing was like 27 or 28 individual pieces that were male and female that fit together with this heavy acrylic and heavy wings and heavy 3D printed things. And it weighed so much, and I learned so much from it. Never 3D print your wings because they are stupid heavy, even if you do a light infill. So, but I learned a lot from that. And what I learned more, because of the weight, I also learned never use stairs in cosplay. I hate stairs. Wings, always take off your wings, always take off your cage, because you'll see it. I posted the stage thing from C2 today. Never go up and down stage or like stairs wearing your cosplay of wings and cages and stuff, because the bump of you going up and down of the stairs causes issues fundamentally with your wings. And I learned this with Combat Medic Ziegler the first time. As I was going down the stairs with my wings, they were sideways because that's the best point of wings. If wings are straight back, the weight balance distributed is very uneven, and it's going to pull you back and cause it to go up and down more, where if they're side to side, the balance is more distributed throughout you, so you don't have as much bouncy. So did that, but they were so heavy. I had, for the moving mechanism, I had metal threaded pieces that glued together that held them to make them go sound effects. I don't know exactly what they're called. It's been a long time. And the wing fell off. And it went down the stairs. And there was a loud from all of the people on the stairs, and they all stopped. And this was like a big staircase of like, it was like a 4-car staircase kind of thing. 4-lane one. Yeah. And it was terrible. It was terrible. This was after judging though, so I already been judged for that. They love the wings, everything. And afterwards, on stage, we tried to fix them. Glue doesn't dry in an hour. It kind of did, but it didn't. Like, I brought epoxy and it didn't work for how heavy they were. So we took them off, and I went on stage and was like, stood, did my pose. Next thing, my partner comes behind me with the wings in his hands, and he's just doing this in the background, like this and this. I wish I had video of it. Oh my gosh. I still won Best Craftsmanship for it. But man, the deliberation of... They changed the prizes around, so I ended up getting a lot of the Best in Show prizes. Don't know why, but they did. But I got like the Best Craftsmanship, even though they fell apart. And they ended up taking like an hour for deliberation, and it was very like awkward. I don't know, I guess they were fighting on things, the judges at the time. But yeah, so that's kind of like, I do really love that memory, even though it was such a bad situation of what happened. But looking back at it, it was, yeah. The prize though that they switched though, for that one was an airbrush compressor, an airbrush kit and stuff, and that was my starting airbrush that got me to making things. Or like painting, and airbrush painting is my absolute favorite thing now, so. Bad memories and good memories, they always come in twos. I have no idea if that answered your question, by the way. Okay, that's one. Oh, we were gonna cut off this part too. We need to cut another spot off real quick. My bad. I need to cut it off on all of them. Okay, fixed it. Forgot, this part is not with it. Oops. Okay, just pretend that one is not there, because we're not going to cut it. Yeah. Okay. To the next one. So does anybody have any plans for this Memorial Day weekend? I do not. I will just be hopefully starting the next build and editing videos and gaming. Okay, that's 2. Just working on your cosplay, getting it ready for Tokyo. Okay, ooh, very nice. That was such a fun convention for me. That's probably, in terms of guesting at conventions, that one was a ton of fun for me. And they were great. All the staff was wonderful. Yeah. I am hoping to commission, so there's an artist that my friend used to make their stickers. So if you know Hoku Props, Sammy got their new Corky stickers for several. I don't know the artist, but she gave me the info, and I want to see if they're open for commissions. And they are the absolute best cute stickers. I have them actually here to remind me. Like, here's some of them. They are so cute. Oh my gosh. They melt me. They melt me so much. And I want to see if the person who designed these are open for commissions, because I would love to get some inspired by my kitties. And I'd love to do it where it's not just Yuki and Nami, but also to kind of honor some of my other kitties that have passed as well, and have each of them as like their own little like project one or something, like one sewing, one making armor, or just things like that. And have a Ches one, my little bunny. So I'm hoping they'll say yes, and I can commission them and then have some stickers for those. I love them. They're so cute. Oh my gosh. It'd be cute, because then we'd have basically an almost all white kitty of Yuki, the ragdoll, and then the other ragdoll, which is our cinnamon one of Nami, and then having a diluted calico of Fluff, and then do one of Chella, who's a normal calico, and then doing the little bunny, our lion's head bunny Ches. I think it would be so cute. Okay, that's the last one of this. So you will label it. Also cut off this part so I know it's ready to go to the next part. Sharpie. This is E1. So. Okay. Stay. Oh, I missed Caspian's message. Sorry. Hi Tiff, can't stay or say just Poppy and say hi. Thanks for saying hi. You're probably not on. I'm sorry I missed your message. I hope work is going okay for you. That was not E1, they're E2. E1 is the next part. Okay. Glad I caught that. Drink some more water. Cheers, guys. And thanks for watching. Excuse me. Nami Nami. You watching all the bunnies? Yeah, there's 3 right there. We got 3 bunnies in the side yard that the Nami is watching. She is a bunny watcher, where doesn't care about the birds. She likes the bunnies. Where Yuki doesn't care about the bunnies, but she likes the birds. She does chirping at the birds, and it's the cutest thing. Oh wait, oh, did I? Which one did I just do? Oh, okay. I guess I cut this one out. I didn't think I did. Num nums. Hey Nugget. Good girl. Good girl, num nums. She's such a happy girl. Okay. In terms of wings, the design for this specific set is actually pretty simple because they're more flat and two-dimensional, like just parts on top, where some of her other ones, like Pink Mercy, that one, the top part is more of in the round and kind of like a shell. So these are a little more straightforward of just cutting out pieces of foam and gluing them on top. Please don't eat it. Whole thing. can turn it a little and then see if y'all can get the cat. Kinda. She moved. Okay. This one is D2. We'll write it after our next one. Nami nami. Nami nami. I'm finished tracing this one and then I can brush you if you want. Or you can just lay on what I'm working on, that works too. Yeah. Thank you. Cute little feet. I do have to move this though. Let's brush you. Angry, welcome on. How you doing today? Sorry, Nami. That's the best we can do. Good job looking at the camera. Yeah. I know, I stopped. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're shedding so much too. All this daily brushing for both my kitties and they just, so much hair. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah. Good girl. Sorry. I know, you didn't like that sound. You didn't like that sound. Whole thing. Whole thing. Y'all are the reason why every time I wear black, I'm covered in fur. Just that little bit. Yeah. You want more? No. If I give it to you, you're gonna just try to eat it. Yeah. Okay, that's it for now. Good girl. Good girl. Survived the dentist? Oh, I'm sorry. A good thing you survived. Hopefully you didn't have any cavities. What has been the most challenging cosplay to make? That's another tough one. Honey Fro with the gold star today on the tough questions. I like them. It makes me think. Because they're not like my normal ones. Now, each cosplay seems to be like, they all have their challenges. And, oh. Not me. This thing makes things challenging. Can I write this real quick? I was gonna write this. Silly. But yeah, each cosplay has their challenges, and I try to learn something new on each of them. Hi. Hey. Hey. The cosplays that have been the most challenging would be Seth, Lilith, Combat Medic Ziegler Mercy, all of them have in common leather. All of them have in common a floating object, such as wings or a cage. I'll say Ariel was challenging at the time, but in general, if I was to remake it in the same way, it actually was a pretty straightforward, kind of easy cosplay to make. Yeah. Nami, little thing. You making this difficult. Is this your spot now? How am I supposed to work now? I don't know if I've done a foam build with her yet. I think I've done a tiny bits of foam, but not a foam build, so. Hi Terrible, welcome on. It's been a long time. What? Nami. Hope you've been doing well. Are you still at the, I know you were working at the ranch for a bit? Are you still there, or... I don't remember offhand everything. Okay, we need 2 of these. But yeah, in terms of difficult cosplays, those were the main ones. I always try to learn a new technique with each of my builds, and Combat Medic Ziegler Mercy was definitely a challenging one, because that one I was learning to wet leather mold, so that entire costume, like all of the panels and the stuff, they were wet leather molded, and I did that for the first time. And then I was making the wings and 3D printing and 3D modeling them. That was a very heavy build for that, which I don't recommend. I still didn't do long enough. Okay. Still working there. It's going pretty well. How are you? Oh, good. I'm glad to hear. Yeah, I still see you in the other Discord every now and then with all the guys. And I see that you've been playing still Atlas. But I've been doing well. Was sick for a while. Had to do surgery past year, since you haven't been around in forever. Got my 2 kitties. The Nami here, who's wondering what I'm doing. And then the Yuki. And then, been playing a lot of Planet Crafter with the newest update, so. Skin to sea cow. Wow. Now, wet leather molding is basically you get a veg tan hide, a cowhide, and when you get it in slightly warm water, it then turns into like a soft material that you're able to form over other things. I need to move this. And you're able to mold it around stuff. So for Mercy, what I did was I ended up getting one of my female, it's like a swimsuit display piece that was only the front half, and you put the leather over it, and then you kind of hammer and stretch it, and you push it into, it's kind of like doing Warbler almost, except you're not using a heat gun, and it's all just water that you're kind of forming it around, and you use a leather burnisher to kind of push it into the places to take the shape. And so I did that with it, and it was a lot of work, and it was a really cool learning experience. So yeah, I really enjoy working with leather, but it's such a challenging thing. And it's an expensive material too. So it's not mistake friendly. So if you mess up, the mess up will be there. And then this one's the last one of this. Usually when you see streaming notifications, it's a couple of hours too late. I do it on the Discord. So I only, if you follow the ! Discord, which I'm pretty sure you're still in the channel, there's one section where you can, instead of muting the channel, just have that for notifications, and I only post when I go live, and it's YouTube-live. So that should go out, because I do at everybody, so I think you should get instant for that. Otherwise, the YouTube notifications they don't really work very well, if that's the ones that you're getting on. And then I kind of got to the point where I stopped advertising it on social media. So I do the live streaming on like TikTok and Instagram, but it's really streaming on YouTube. So, and that's where I read chat. But I know a lot of people, that's where they see that I go live, and then they'll come over here. That's typically how Wizard sees that I'm on. But I guess he is busy with work today, because normally he's hopped on. Yep, still in Discord. Okay. Good. You've not left our squad. Alright, this is D2. What other games have you been doing lately? Anybody else can answer as well. One of the games I'm really looking forward to that should be coming out within the next couple of months. They haven't done an actual date yet, but they're in their final stages. I think it's called Atomic Factor or Atomic Factory or something. It is so good. Oh my gosh. Like highly, highly recommended. It's probably like my absolute favorite game, and I ended up playing it when they had half the game made, and they were gonna keep doing updates, and at that point I was like, nope, I want to wait for full release because it's so good. I want to experience the whole thing from the start again. Okay, is that one? I'm gonna toss this. I don't need that. Kind of made it. You've been playing some of the Oblivion Remastered, and you're going to be playing the Dune game when it comes out. I thought it was already out. Or was that early access for streamers? Just not enough time in the day, yeah. Or did I read that wrong? Was it? Yeah, Dune game, not Doom. Yeah. Yeah, aviotic factor. Sorry. I was close. Just early access, gotcha. Yeah, aviotic factor was really, really good. I had a great base too. So that one I did co-op with Crimson. So waiting for Space Engineers 2 releasing the survival mode update, then I will jump into that for a month-ish. Nice. What was the other game I was playing? Oh, it was Green Hell, which was like, it's very old. I did that because I wanted another survival game. It was interesting. That's a good word for it. I like the forest, and the Sons of the Forest, and I like those type of games. And this one was really old. I know it's an inspiration to those games. So, I went in knowing the story was terrible. Terrible. Oh my gosh. I was just like, I don't care. I want it to be finished. And every time I was like, okay, this has to be the end. Nope, a whole new section opened. Oh. And I wanted to finish it so bad, but it was just terrible. And I hated the guy. I hated the main character so much. I was just like, you're so stupid, and so like I was just yelling at him the whole time. Things like that make me want to get back into streaming again. Like I still want to do streaming on. I'm streaming here, obviously. I still want to get back and do game streaming on Twitch. Oh my gosh, this hair. At some point, we will make it happen. Yeah. You tried Green Hell, but the person I was playing it with didn't yeah. It's beat the game. Didn't want to do the prequel. Didn't want to do that because I don't want to deal with more story. But then did a little bit in survival. And it was weird because there was new things in their survival that weren't in the other part. So, and I hate creepy critters, but I was annoyed by all the tribal people that they were just they didn't come and attack your base. They just kind of hung out, and then if you went near them, they would kind of attack you, but not really. And then the whole it was basically leech simulator of moving all of the leeches off of you, and that was annoying as well. Yeah. It's funny because for me, when it comes to survival games, most people think like I like to build and I like to do the crafting and build the bases, and no, my bases are functional, and I don't care about how they look. It's functionality. And I don't want to build a base. So people like, yeah. Working on a full armor build, swapping in, working on a prop here and there, for about comfy cosplays, and wanting to play games does not mix well. Yeah, I understand that. I have trouble gaming and making things at the same time. I have to choose one or the other. And if I get obsessed with a game, it's really hard to like force myself not to keep playing. Because I'll just sit there for like 10 hours at a time playing one game, and I just lose track of everything. I get really fixated on it. So, how world has your heart at the moment? I couldn't do it. I was just like, no. It's Pokemon with guns, and I was not. But I know it's got a lot of good feedback on it, or like a lot of people really liked it. So just not my type. Not something I wanted to open that box of worms. Game streams would be cool. I used to do gaming streams. So I used to stream on Twitch. I still have a channel there, twitch.tv/Tiffany Gordon Cosplay. And I switched over, so I started doing gaming streams there like 6-7 years ago, a long time ago, back in the day. And then I started doing cosplay making streams there. So that's where it started, and I would do back and forth. And then I kind of went away from gaming streams because I started doing this as my full-time job. And at that point, every time somebody would come on, because of the crafting community, in general, more crafters and more cosplayers don't watch Twitch or don't know what it is. Now, not everybody, but a good portion. I was constantly having to educate what Twitch was. But then I was still referring everybody from Twitch to go to YouTube because that's where all of my tutorials were. And so it got to the point where I was like, why am I telling people to come here but then to go there? Why not just do it all on one platform? So that's when, I think it's been 2 years now that I've been on YouTube streaming my cosplay making. Now I used to do it like 2 or 3 times a week, but now I only do it once a week just because it's a lot of work now. And a lot of the stuff that I do, I can't really stream anymore just because things are downstairs for a lot of my stuff. Being in Nebraska, because of the weather, I have to do a lot of stuff in my basement with the spray booth and with respirators and things, and it's unlike Texas where I could do it upstairs and have my windows open and things like that with proper ventilation, but temperature-wise, you can't do it here. And there's just a lot of... It wasn't possible anymore, so I do a lot less streaming. I try to at least do it once a week now. But yeah, so that's why I moved over to YouTube, and I stopped Twitch altogether. Like, I still watch Twitch every day. I mostly watch Twitch, which... If I don't have time to play a game, I just watch a full playthrough. But yeah, I'd love to go back, since I now have a specific gaming PC in another room, as this is my full-time job. It got to the point where the PC that I'm streaming off of right now used to be my main one, and my only one, and after working all day in my studio, editing videos, and if I was gluing stuff and doing things like that, I didn't want to continue staying in the same room gaming. It's like if you go to your office job, but now you're no longer working, but you decide to stay and play games at your office job instead of going home and relaxing. And I needed a separate space. And so that's kind of where I'm at now. The community last year, I believe, they gave me a gaming laptop, which I'm so grateful for, y'all. Really appreciate it. I use it every day. It keeps me sane. And I'd love to get back into streaming on Twitch. And I keep saying I'm going to. I will make it happen one day. But it will not be at a scheduled thing. It's just going to be like, I'm going to stream today. But I do have some of my old playthroughs on my Tiffany. So it's another YouTube channel, which is Tiffany Gordon Gaming. And I copied over as much of the streams that I could over there, if you're interested. So the days Tiff gets back into game streaming, Twitch is gonna be shut down. That's so bad. So bad. I had so much fun streaming. I'm happy a good portion of our audience came over to YouTube from Twitch. I remember, like, the biggest stream that I was having at the time and that y'all all loved was when I was doing Paper Mario. Oh, that was such a good one, and I voiceovered the whole entire thing, and like I got everybody crying and stuff. That was like back in the day when I had it on this YouTube channel. I switched it over. It actually had tons and thousands of views, but I deleted it because I didn't want it on this channel. Which I don't know, but yeah. But I still game all the time. One, two, three. Okay, one more. Not all games are for all people. Or not all, yeah. Yeah, Twitch also, at the time, Twitch had changed it used to be all of the art stuff was under one category, like the creative category, but then they made it where it was very specific subcategories, and that kind of ruined it. So you had to really find that one spot, and making cosplays on Twitch was there was a lot of trolls, like so many. I'm gonna do it this way. And a lot of the people that were on there that would come in that were trolling, they just wanted me to be in cosplay. I didn't want to be in cosplay. I wanted to make costumes, and kept telling me, you should do this with your channel and this. And it's like, well, I don't want to. And then you'd have people that would just come in saying you're wanting attention, which I laughed at those because one of the ones I remember most was I was in a long sleeve t-shirt. I had a respirator on, gloves, and I'm gluing something, and they're saying, oh, you're just on here for attention and this and that. And I'd have people come on like, why are you wearing a respirator? Are you trying to be cool and this and that? It's like, I'm working with chemicals. And they're like, so many things, and a lot of people that would come on and just like try to tear you down so bad. So it was nice to kind of come here. On YouTube, I feel like we've had a few trolls. Very minimal, like nothing too bad at all. And it didn't feel like here I have to compete with myself. Where on Twitch, it was every time you stream, it felt like, oh, you have to do better, you have to do this, or you're not going to be able to get this and be in this category and this and that. And it was just, I didn't like it. We're here, it's not stressful at all. She's the only stressful thing. No, please don't go under there again. Okay. Let us write this down. This is C2. It's here. I don't like having my X-Acto knife out with the kitty, but I'm working right now. She will not move at times, so I gotta trim this piece real quick. Okay. We'll move to this one. I do need to cut off a piece real quick. Do you have any go-to craft streams you watch? I don't really watch craft streams. I think the main reason is I do this all day, and when I'm working on this, like all my stuff, I want to watch a show, or like I always watch a show or I'm watching a gaming stream. And I feel like if I'm watching a craft stream, because this is my full-time job, like I'm just can't focus. So I don't know. And I don't really want to, like, there's a couple of YouTube videos that I'll watch on how somebody made something. But for live crafting streams, I don't typically watch anybody for crafting. Okay, there's that one. You took my spot again. Little thing. Little thing. Have I ever judged internationally? In person, no. I was supposed to be a guest this last year in Saudi Arabia for, what was the convention called? I think it was Saudi Comic-Con or something like that. But the convention kind of, oh, I need to change the lighting. It is super dark now. We have a storm coming. But they had issues with their con, and they decided to announce a week before the convention that it was not gonna happen. And that made a lot of people very, very mad. And they were going to change the location and this and that. And they have not posted anything since. So, that was supposed to be my first in-person international con. In terms of judging internationally, though, I have done online judging. Sorry, fixing things. Had to go up 2 knots on each of them because of how dark it's gotten inside. That better? That's better. Okay. Or dark outside. Yeah, I have judged online Gamescom a few years ago, and then I've done Ultimate Cosplay Championship. That is an international one that I judged 1 year, and then I think that was the other one. Oh, and then also no, I didn't judge that one. I organized that one. Yeah, those are the 2 I've judged online. So. OMG Saudi, that's so close to Kuwait. Sorry, I'm terrible with geography. So I will believe you on that one. I'd love to recommend you as a judge here sometime and the opportunity arises. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, feel free. Basically, I, at this point, don't really go to conventions unless I'm a guest or a judge for one of them. So yeah, any convention that you want to see me at, feel free. Put my name out there. I appreciate it. But yeah, hopefully I'll have some other opportunities. My next conventions right now... I will say though, I do try to do one convention a year that is for me, that I don't guest at, that I have fun, and this year was CTV2. So that was mine. But otherwise, because it's my full-time job and conventions are expensive to go to, I only do one a year, so... And also just guesting at conventions all the time. A lot of them are kind of the same. So it's more of going to see the people. So I try now to go to the ones that are like the bigger ones, for my own personal fun, to hang out with friends and things. So, but yeah, love to do more conventions, especially international. I'd love to get into that. And my next conventions, next month I have Anime ID, which is in Idaho in the US. They're both in the US. And then the only other one I have on my calendar right now is I think it's like Retro Gaming Expo or Retro South. It's South Retro. It's something like that. I don't remember 100%. And that one is in Wichita Falls, Texas. And then I just got back 2 weeks ago from Alaska for a convention I was at. So, yeah. That con was a mess. Yeah. The Saudi one, it was... I know more stuff. I'm not gonna publicize things, and yeah. So... yeah. I'm happy I was invited, and I got a lot of exposure to the other side of the sea, of the world, and sad I couldn't go. Sad it didn't happen, but it seemed like this year and last year, a lot of conventions have been having some issues lately with things, because that's not the only convention that has had issues. I had another one that I'd never said anything about, that I was supposed to be going to internationally, actually, yeah, that was this year too. I had another international one. I won't say the name. I was confirmed, and things happened, and they canceled all of their international guests. So, that was that one. I think that one is supposed to happen soon, too. But I will not say what the name is. And then, last year I was supposed to do another international one before Saudi. But that one fell through, too. So it seemed like a lot of international ones, at least with their guests, or whatever coordination, they have a little bit more difficulty. Don't know. But I'm happy now, because most of these beforehand, except for the Saudi one, I'm so happy that I had a manager, because he was able to do, like, having a manager has helped me so much, because I haven't had to talk to the people. That was so stressful, talking to conventions, going back and forth and everything, and making sure I at least have, like, a hotel room and like, a flight and things like that. You know, basic stuff to get me there. Making sure all of that is situated has been so helpful and a lot less stressful on my end. And since now that I'm with his team and everything, it has been great. So, yeah, very happy about it. first one. Oh, second one. Sorry, we need 2 more of these. I'm trying to move it so y'all can see. I'd like to see if I can guest at a convention in Vietnam. One of my... I made a really good friend here in Nebraska for like 3 months, and we hung out a lot, and she was wonderful, and she had to go back home. And she could not find... She went to the university here, and she graduated, and then because of the situation of everything happening right now, we're not going to talk politics, but she was unable to find a job right after college, so she had to go back home because her visa was expiring. And apparently that's a huge mess. I didn't ever realize how much it was for like getting jobs with like green cards and things. Like, I knew it was difficult, but ooh. But yeah, she was really good, and I miss her a lot. So hopefully I'll be able to go there one day and see her again. Okay, and then one more. I know this song, but I can't think of it right now. She's like, I'm bored. She's gotten a lot more clingy since last week. She had surgery. She got fixed, or spayed. And so she had to be locked in the bedroom for a week to make sure she wasn't with Yuki, so they didn't do their little play battles and she didn't jump and I could monitor her. And she was so bored in there, and she got so snuggly every time. She just kept sleeping on, like, she always slept on my head, but she did more than normal. And now she's even more attached, which I love, but also I feel bad. Still have to take it a little easy with her. Okay. That was it for that one, so let's write them. This is B2. Okay. And let me trim that part real quick. To see everybody walking today, despite how the weather is supposed to be really bad, and I can start seeing or hearing thunder in the distance. We're supposed to have really bad weather this weekend. It's already been warned of like tornadoes and hail and rain, and it's supposed to be cold again, and I'm not looking forward to that. Okay, and with one more that we are gonna do from this size. I swear the cough is gone, but talking so much. Okay, put this here. Little thing, your feet keep going under me. Stream is so peaceful and calming to have while you work on your cosplay. Oh, I'm glad to hear. Yeah, we changed up the music this time, so don't get you sick. I'll try not to. Normally, so I've tried the piano music this time, and I really am enjoying it. But normally, if you do exclamation point music, it'll bring you up to the YouTube channel that we're listening to, not the specific video, but it's the same channel, and this is their other live stream, which is gaming. I think it's Game Chop is the channel, and then this is their piano music of gaming, and I normally listen to their other version, but I wanted to switch it up, and I'm enjoying it. I've always wanted my streams to be a place where people can come and relax and kind of get their mind off of life and just hang out, forget their worries, and talk cosplay, and I don't know, yeah. So yeah, glad to have you here. What kind of tape are you using to hold the templates on? I am using regular Scotch tape, and I have trouble sticking, not moving around on the EVA foam. This is also Scotch, but it's their contractor grade. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I use the expensive tape because it works better. Never the blue painter's tape. That's terrible. But if you are talking about painting, if you are putting... So painting's different. I don't use tape after I do Plasti Dip, like direct surface. So for me, when I prime my pieces, I use 3 coats of Plasti Dip, which is a rubber spray paint, for priming. Also, make sure all of your foam is heat treated before that, because your foam is extremely porous. So your foam is like this. Sorry, wherever the camera is. Your foam is like... So your foam is like this. When you heat treat it, it closes those pores, and it makes the surface a lot more stronger, and also helps prevent, like, when it's porous, all of the paint will be sucked into the foam, so it makes an even surface for your finishings. So yeah. And then move this back to where we were. But I do 3 coats of Plasti Dip as my primer, and then I will use airbrush paint. Now when painting, if you're taping off surfaces, never use the tape as your first coat of paint. Only apply masking tape on top of painted surfaces. The reason being is the adhesive on all of your masking tape, whatever brand you are using, will end up leaving tape residue on your surface. So the Plasti Dip will have tape residue on it. I put this in the wrong spot. And so yeah, and you don't need to mask off your first piece either. With painting, you can paint your piece, and especially with airbrush painting, and then tape off your painted areas as you go. You don't need to tape off the unpainted areas. I don't know if that was your question or whatever, but that's my answer. Welcome on. Hola, ¿cómo estás? That's about all I know. Sweet, thanks. I already have some Plasti Dip, but always wondered why they used heat. Yeah. If you're talking about people using heat, like putting it in warm water, I don't recommend that. I especially don't recommend doing that on a stovetop with water, as Plasti Dip is explosive. So, don't do that. People say though, with Plasti Dip, if you put it in warm water, it's supposed to help like all of the chemicals work better or whatever. But in reality, I always find like it's a heat thing. So Plasti Dip, for it to adhere to your surface and properly work correctly, it needs to be no humidity, or at least humidity as possible, which is hard in some areas depending on where you live, as well as the temperature needs to be at least 70 degrees Fahrenheit. If it is below that, it will not properly adhere to the surface, and that's what's going to have a lot of issues with painting later on. It's going to have a lot of issues with it curing on the surface. So I think that is the main reason why people say to put it in the hot water, where for me, if I'm going to be painting in a colder area, because I am in Nebraska, I have a basement I've set up with a heat, or like a spray booth that I'll put a heater in there, but it still drops below. I make sure that my Plasti Dip, I will take it upstairs into the correct temperature. So if my house is 70 degrees, I'll just leave it inside my house. Non-sprayed pieces. And that will help keep it to the correct temperature, and then you can go and spray it and then just bring your can back in. If you are using Plasti Dip, you do need to be wearing a respirator, as it is a rubber spray paint and it is extremely bad to breathe in. Also, you need to be in an extremely well ventilated room. No pets, do not do it inside. I do it in a designated spray booth in a basement in a spray room. That's the only way, but you need to make sure you have a proper setup. So the other options would be to do it in a garage with your garage cracked. I recommend having a fan in the back to sweep all of the air out the door, or just do it outside. And then wear gloves because it's a mess. Oh no, the foam itself, oh no, the foam itself with a heat gun, haha, I think is so calm. Oh, you're in California. You're fine. You are perfect weather. Yeah, that was how it was in Texas for me. I had no issues with the weather most of the time. There was like 1 month that it got a little bit cold and I would just have a heat lamp in the room, and that helped. But yeah, you should have no issues with temperature then in California, unless it's a random snowstorm that I know y'all got. So I don't know if that helped, but that's kind of my 2 cents with the Plasti Dip. So, but all I can say is, if you want to try the heated water, do it. Just don't do it on a stovetop. Heat up whatever. Don't do it in a metal pan. Don't put metal in there, like whatever. And then if you do have a plastic tub that's you're pouring hot water in, and you put it to the side and then put the can in, I guess. But I also still, like, it's not something I like to do, so I can't recommend it. But if you'd like to try it, you can. So. It was super hot and humid this week. You're glad you had the day off. I heard, I think Wizard was saying y'all had a heat storm or something this week. I'm happy not to have it. And we had the cold front, so we were pushing all the hot air to you, because we have been in the high 50s, low 60s. And I think the next few days it's supposed to be in the 40s and 50s. It's weird. I'm still not used to having actual seasons here. And like in Texas, there was summer, kind of winter. I would consider it more of a fall. You have summer, it's hot, and then you have fall, the leaves fall off, and it's Texas cold. So. But yeah, it's really pretty right now. It's the spring and all of the plants are flowering, and I always find it bizarre how many, everything here dies and it freezes and there's snow everywhere and all of the plants, like the tulips, we've never planted tulips. They come back each year and it's so cool. Like, they just do it and I'm not used to that. And then with the, same with like our flower things, like these bushes, they just overnight bloom and are super tall, and our landlord just comes back every year and he just cuts them down once it's wintertime to like a tiny little nub, and then they just come back and they go to another like 3 feet and then have all these pretty pink flowers on them. So yeah. Yeah, summer and slightly colder summer. Yeah. Occasionally, though, before it came to Nebraska, we had the snowstorm, though, that shut down everything when we got, like, a foot of snow, and that was really, like, my first time ever seeing snow. Alright, one more left. Nami, you keep trying to push me out of the seat. I just feel little toes on my butt pushing me ever so slightly. Okay. I don't need that there. But yeah, my little trick is I'm not going to cut these parts out. I'm going to heat treat them first. And reason being that is when you heat treat, your foam actually shrinks a tiny bit, and it does, especially for your 2mm foam. I call it gummy bear edges. And you know how gummy bears, it's a bear shape, but it's kind of squishy all over the edges. It's gummy berry. And so I call it that because that's what happens to your foam on the edges if you are to heat treat after you cut out your pieces. So if you do it first and then cut them out, all of your lines that you cut with an X-Acto knife are nice, crisp, and sharp. So when you need to glue 2 edges together perfectly like that, they will attach perfectly. But if you were to heat treat it after, you're no longer having a flat, you're no longer having like 2 cubes connect on flat edges. You're now having 2 circles that you're connecting. And so you're going to have more of a seam that shows. So I find this way a lot better. So I'll typically trace all of my pieces on it and heat treat it, or I'll heat treat it first and then trace all my pieces. But that's kind of my method. Okay, this is A2. With painting, you just bought an airbrush set, Cratex colors. If I wanted to make a pop using a brush painting, what kind of paint should I use? Acrylic. So Cratex colors, I have a box set. I recommend it. Perfect. But Cratex is my favorite brand for airbrush paint. And I do need to cut one more thing. In terms of acrylic paint, so my favorite that I liked to use when I did use acrylic paint, I don't anymore, is Liquitex Heavy Body Acrylic Paint. Just because you get the most vibrant colors and they aren't going to be muddy. And I find that it sticks to the surface better than a lot of the cheap generic brands. but it's going to depend on your budget on, because they do get a little bit more expensive with that brand. But yeah, the heavy body stuff. Okay. So that is it for this one. Also, this makes it easy where if can you see how many parts we're starting to get? And we still have 10 more parts to trace. By doing it this way, I can wait till later to cut them out, and I don't have all these parts everywhere. Because for me, this is a wonderful time, a wonderful spot to stop the stream. You can see the Nami now. Oh, little thing. Can I have some room? Thank you. Thank you. I'll rotate this. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I know it's a long process of tracing things, but once I start getting it going and cutting the parts, it'll be made like that. So there's still, in terms of the wings to cut out, we still have one more for each of the blades, and then I have to cut out a few pieces for the top part for the main bone structure, which will be attached to the harness. And then speaking of harnesses, so y'all can see what I'm working on. I don't know if I had this last time, but this is the prototype for the harness. And the whole point of these wings, we're going to be making wing harnesses, CAD files available for the public. This one's going to be the heavy duty, larger wings. And then it's for PVC pipe, because the biggest feedback I've gotten from my international folk is you don't have CPVC pipe very much available. So yeah, it's for PVC because they are different sizes, not the same size of materials. So specifically PVC, and then it's a 3-prong that goes in there, which then you have the knuckle, which does not fit because I'm still prototyping, but it basically slide on and off. And then this also fits a 1-inch one. And then this would be what your wing attaches to. So you wear this on your body, you can cut a hole in your costume that then this slides on, so your harness is perfectly hidden and only the wing knuckle shows, and you can pull it on and off, so that way you can walk around without the wings and take them off to go through doors in the bathroom and stuff. So this is the whole process that we're doing, but hopefully, I gotta fix my printer because it broke, so I can't print anything else right now. But hopefully by next stream or in 2 weeks, I'll have a good prototype and we can have the wings done. But I really appreciate everybody being on today. So yeah. And Nami does too. But I'll be on next week, most likely on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. I think that'll be the next day. Air Force life. I always have to work around that schedule of my spouse. So it's either Tuesdays or Thursdays, depending on his schedule. So yeah, but should see y'all then. Most likely we'll do more Mercy or we'll do another cosplay. Appreciate everybody. If you were here on TikTok or Instagram, I was live streaming on youtube.com/ChipFingerandCosplay, and that was where I was reading questions and answering questions. So reading comments and answering questions. Sorry. So head over to YouTube and subscribe there so you can see all of my stuff there, and my tutorials. All my tutorials are there. So yeah, I appreciate everybody, and have a wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful and safe Memorial Day weekend. And then also thank you for the remember here. I appreciate the support as well as the $5 donation. You'll be in the scrolly thing on the next stream. So yeah, much love guys. And let me flip over to